Celebrating the connection with our pets. This is Animal Radio, featuring veterinarian Dr. Debbie White, groomer Joey Villani, news director Lori Brooks. And now, from the Red Barn Studios, here are your hosts, Hal Abrams and Judy Francis.
Big show today. Bret Michaels joining us today, the former Poison singer, maybe present Poison singer. Is he still singing with Poison? We'll have to ask him.
Yeah, I think so. How could you not? He is Poison.
He has a brand new line of toys for your dog. Actually, clothing and accessories for your dog.
It's got some cute stuff.
They really are cute. We have some in the studio. We're going to give some away today. And yeah, who would have thought? Poison singer gone toy manufacturer.
Yeah.
But
they're like rock and roll clothes, right?
Yeah, you can
They are.
I got some rock and roll. In fact, you can keep some of this here. I'm going to give you some. I got rock and roll clothes and this little. It's like a tour bus. It's like a stuffed Kong toy. It's a tour bus, and inside is a little VIP guy that squeaks.
A security guy and a fan. And it's all plush. It's soft, squeaky fuzzies.
And I'm going to give you some so that you can show it off. Look, this big boot here. It's like a Poison cowboy boot.
And look at this little tee that Ladybug's wearing.
Ooh,
it actually has lace on the sleeves.
VIP backstage.
But a skull, yeah.
Ooh, she looks sharp.
She does. She's a little hoodie.
That's all.
Look at her.
Yeah, that's all coming out of your radio today. Also, just a lot of things going on. We're going to find out. We had a listener call us. She tried some flea products, and apparently she tried it on two of her cats, and both cats expired. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. Also, yeah.
That's not uncommon, and some of that stuff is real dangerous. I've had a client that had two pugs, and both pugs died, from the flea product, from neurological damage, and it's dangerous stuff.
Now, this is one of those brands that you get at the cheap dime store,
Exactly.
Walmart or something.
Exactly. That's why you pay for the good stuff.
It's very important. Also, San Francisco has plans on using dogs to reduce their panhandling problem. We'll be talking about that in just a few minutes. And if you want to use your dog to meet a woman or a guy, we'll tell you what kind of dogs you should be using. That's all on the way here on Animal Radio. Stacy, what are you working on?
You know, everybody at Groman's Chinese Theater uses two hands. They put their hands down, and, all the stars have their hands on there. Well, there's a new star that's actually put four of them down. All four paws. I'll tell you who's top dog coming up on Animal Radio News.
Let's hit the phones. 1-866-405-8405. Hey, Cindy.
Hello.
Welcome to Animal Radio. I've got the good doctor, Dr. Debbie, right here. What's up?
Hi.
Well, hello, Dr. Debbie. We listen to you every Saturday morning when we're traveling, so we appreciate the good advice.
Oh, well, thank you for tuning in.
I have a 3-year-old golden doodle. She has been being cared for when we're traveling, when hotels won't take her, in a kennel. It is a veterinary kennel. We did a Bordetella shot booster. We do them every 6 months. At the beginning of June, and they said there was a new strain of Bordetella running around, so because the veterinary clinics or the CDC cannot keep up with it, they thought an additional booster would help her, and now she's attempting to blow it. So we did a booster about 3.5 weeks after she had the first one, and we brought her home, and now she's trying to clear her nose, constantly sneezing, and it feels like she's trying to blow her nose.
And this is, I'm sorry, how long after that vaccination was given?
It was about 3.5, 4 weeks.
And, I guess the bottom line with Bordetella is that there's different types of vaccination. So there's an intranasal form that's kind of like the flu mist vaccination. So like little kids get that nasally sprayed. And there's an injection form. And I'd have to say we do see some potential clinical signs after an intranasal Bordetella. Usually it's pretty mild and self-limiting, a little sneezing, coughing, reverse sneezing, that horrible kind of sound.
Right.
So usually it's pretty short in its duration. Kind of depends. If I have a pet who's really sick, then I will definitely do some lab work on them, and we can do specific testing for different agents and whether or not we can say it's from the vaccination or not. I have had the occasional pet have those kind of clinical signs after a nasal Bordetella vaccine, but I still believe in the product, and it can be very good for a pet that has a upcoming boarding visit, and it gives us kind of in a pinch in the quick time frame, it gives us some of the best protection on that short timeline. But that being said, I want to make sure your baby's well, and if necessary, I would certainly see if we need to get her treated, or maybe at least on an antihistamine to help control some of those signs for her.
Antihistamine such as Benadryl?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, often Benadryl. There's some other ones that we'll prescribe as well, just to kind of help, minimize those clinical signs of the sneezing, coughing, that type of thing. Okay. And, if a dog does show a sensitivity with these kind of signs after a nasal Bordetella vaccination, then, we might really look at giving the injectable form in the future, just to kind of avoid that potential. And it sounds like you're a good parent and you're up to date on shots, so that might just be a good strategy for her in the future there.
So the injectables are a 6-month inoculation, or are they a year?
There's a little bit of some controversy with that, and some of that we discuss on the lifestyle and the exposure for the pets. Here we typically, using either product, we'll do that on an every 6-month interval if we have a pet who's in more of a high-risk group. And that would be pets that are boarded, that go to the grooming parlor, go to pet shows, things like that. If it's only the occasional animal exposure or minimal, then usually we just stick with that once a year vaccination, whether we use the nasal or the injection form. But
well, I appreciate that my vet likes to be very safe, and so we do it every 6 months regardless. You just show up here to get your dog groomed. We're going to make you take the shot, or take the nasal. So we've been doing nasal, but we've never had the symptoms where she's trying to blow her nose. My husband has one more question about it, and he was wondering about exertion. I mean, she loves to swim, and we didn't want to, it's the time of year where we take her down to the lake, and she just swims until her tail goes cold. And we've been trying to keep her away from that situation. But he doesn't know how much exertion, because she will play with the ball and swim until we have to go out and get her.
Okay. So this is unrelated to her kind of sneezing thing right now. You're just asking if that's too much for her to do that.
Right. Yes, exactly.
Yeah. And, there is a condition we call swimmer's tail, where basically a dog can sprain their tail, and after really intense swimming, retrieving activities, they'll actually have pain in the tail where they don't want to raise it. They mope around, and it can be really uncomfortable. If we're in that category, then I'd say we need to temper things down. But if she seems to recover pretty well, we're watching the ambient temperature, and it's not too hot out for that level of activity, oh my gosh, my dogs will retrieve for an hour at a time, as long as the conditions are right. So if she's enjoying it and seeming to physically hold up to that and not having a sore tail afterwards, then I don't see a problem with that.
Okay. Well, we haven't gone to sore tail we discovered it 2 years ago, and we haven't gone back there. So, a dog is not happy if it's not wagging its tail.
Yes. And, my own Labrador has had swimmer's tail before, and it's a pathetic thing. And, it's hard to imagine they can actually sprain their tail, but any muscle in her body, overuse it, and you'll feel the difference the next day. So thank you for your call, Cindy, and thanks for tuning in to us here at Animal Radio. Thank you so much. This is Dr. Debbie. We're here for your call at 1-866-405-8405.
You're listening to Animal Radio.
Hi, it's Alan Cable. Here's a dog tip for you. You're at a dog park. You don't like letting your dog off the leash. You're not certain if your dog will obey you when you call him, but what the heck? You feel bad, you want him to run free, so you let him go. Everything's going great till this one dog shows up and your dog takes off. You try calling him, but he pays no attention to you. Now think about it. What's your next step? Is it frustration? Yelling? Do you walk towards the dog, mad, body all tense, already knowing as soon as you get close, he's going to run away? The only thing you can think of is you got to get him him by that collar. Okay, let's stop and look at this. Your dog's not listening. He doesn't respect you. Dogs respond when you're secure and confident, calm, when you act like a pack leader. Now, providing your dog already understands what it means when you say come, if you can approach him calmly and put him in the submissive position below you, give him a correction right then and there, bad dog. Put him on a leash, great. But if you can't catch him, well, the odds are you're going to be frustrated. You got to fight that. Now, you probably shouldn't have let your dog off the leash because you knew to begin with he wouldn't listen to you. He wouldn't come when you called, but you did. So the point is, what do? What's your response? Turn the opposite way and start walking. Now, some dogs are not going to pay any attention and not care that you're gone. But most dogs are going to notice because you're walking away from them, the pack. You're giving them no attention, nothing. So what do you do when your dog does approach? Reprimand him for not listening the first time? Heck no. Every time your dog comes to you without being called and is close to you, praise him. Good boy. Because if you reprimand him when he comes to you, he's never going to want to come to you. He's going to associate it with unpleasantness. Well, every time I go over there, I get yelled at. Instead of, every time I'm near that other dog, well, I get some attention. You correct them when they're doing what you don't want. You praise them when they're doing what you do want. And when they're calm, just laying there, that's when you give them attention. When they're jumping around like freaks before a walk or when you just come home, pay no attention to them. Till they mellow out. You can even say that, mellow out. When he gives you that, you praise him. Teaching your dog to be mellow and calm, that's the way to go. That's when you give attention.
This is
Animal Radio, baby.
Dogs or cats, horse or emu, animals are people too. A Canadian man now has to pick up his mail at the post office. Canada's postal system has stopped delivering his mail after a carrier was scared away from his door by what she described as a very threatening cat. John Samborski says his 8-year-old declawed black cat named Shadow is gentle and calls the whole situation ridiculous. He told the local paper that Shadow likes to eat, sleep, and cuddle. You could drop a bomb on him and he'd just open one eye, take a look, then close them and go back to sleep. A Canada Post spokeswoman said she hoped for an amicable solution to its dispute with the cat owner, but also added that the carrier who delivered the mail to the house was brought up on a farm and very comfortable with all animals, just not this cat. I'm Britt Savage for Animal Radio. Animals are people too. Animal Radio.
Hi, this is Doug Ray of the Marshall Tucker Band, and forever you'll always be listening to Animal Radio. Keep loving those pets.
People say less is more. At Red Barn, we think less is better. It's what you won't find that sets our natural premium pet food apart. No byproducts, no corn or soy, no fillers. Just the natural ingredients your pets need to live the healthy life they deserve. Look at the label. We want you to. Red Barn Naturals Pet Food. Simply the best. Find it in your local pet specialty store. Red Barn canned food for cats and dogs is grain and gluten-free.
This is
Animal Radio, baby.
Oh my gosh. It's dueling squeaky toys.
It's my Bret Michaels boot.
Ooh, isn't that cool?
Boss is very much in love with this already.
They are amazing accessories brought to us by PetSmart and Bret Michaels. And we're going to have something to give away in just a few minutes with Bret Michaels. They've given us a whole bunch of this. Ladybug's wearing the VIP shirt today, which is cool, with the little frills. She looks like a little backstage dog. They have the little bus. What did you think of the bus there? You like that bus with the little toys inside?
I do, yeah, with all the little fans in the bus that they can pull out and chew on. Yeah, that's very cool. But yeah, no, I especially dig this boot because Boss runs around squeezing it, and it kind of reminds me of those shoes that little kids have where they squeak when they run. Drives my husband crazy.
I have no opinion, but could you give me my tea, please, Hale?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry about that. By the way, you can send us your emails at yourvoice@animalradio.com or Facebook us at Animal Radio or tweet us at Animal Radio. And this one, I don't know who this comes from. This came off, this was a Twitter. It says, what do you do if your dog and you suddenly get attacked by off-leashed neighbor's dog?
Oh my gosh, this has really got me. Let me take my sip of my tea.
Okay, give him his. Is that really tea, by the way? I've been someone just tweeted us. They wanted to know if that's really tea or if that's vodka.
It's a green tea. I'm going to the Japanese store and I'm buying the green tea, and it's a whole procedure. The temperature needs to be no more
Can I have a
than
sip?
70. Yeah, you can 70 degree, and it's really green. Let me also take care of.
Is that your phone?
When Vlad is annoying, I drop a little dog tranquilizer in there too.
Vlade, by the way, is stopping this multi-million-dollar station to answer the phone here, his iPhone.
I'm on Animal Radio right now, and I will call you. I know you have emergency. I know that. Just hold on 1 second, please. Not whole second.
Somebody off.
Yeah. So hold on 1 second. So, I already had the tea. I already replied to my iPhone. Yes. I want to bring it.
So now we're ready to answer the question. Would you like me to repeat the question? I can repeat it for you.
Go ahead.
What do you do if your dog and you suddenly get attacked by the off-leashed neighbor's dog?
Okay. You need to do two things. Number one, ruin any damage if something happened, of course needs to take care of the vet. But if it not, you believe it or not, you need to go back to the dog park, and you need to meet the nice dogs immediately. So the dog would not traumatize mentally. I would do profiling. I would go to the dog park, and like KGB, I'm going to look how the dog's playing. I would pick up the certain breeds. I always suggest the people Labs and Goldens, those Democrats dogs. I mean, they love everyone, think everyone is a good guy, approach to them, and let their dogs re-socialize, replay to show this is not the bad things to be around the dogs. That would be number one choice. And number two suggestion, the next time, every time when you take your dog outside, you must be armed. You need to have something in your hand, so when another dog jump to the fight or something attack your dog, you could protect your dog because your dog is on leash.
I'm going to take a guess at what you need to be armed with, okay? I'm thinking it's the pet convincer.
It is the pet convincer.
Smart.
Because it's a very safe and humane way of getting another dogs away from you. As a matter of fact, many clients send us email and tell how that device saved their dogs, not life, but basically from traumatizing them.
Okay. We actually just got another one. Can you answer another one? Judy says we have two of them?
Yes, we have two.
Okay.
Well, nobody's calling me. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, we'll go back to the phones. I think there's something wrong with the phones because Judy just picked up and there's no dial tone, so we'll figure it out in just a second. But keep calling at 1-866-405-8405. This is another tweet. Somebody wants to know how to teach your dog how to carry a purse. I don't know what inspired this, but I'd like to know myself. How
maybe
you teach
they're
your
handicapped or something.
Okay, maybe they are handicapped. Okay.
This is not my specialty. Of course, my former business partner from Michigan would be awesome to address this question. That's what she's done for a living for many years. The way how she explained to me that first, you're teaching the dog to hold objects. You start with something the dog likes, like a stick, like tennis ball. You give it to the dog and say, hold. You can put it with peanut butter even, so the dog would be enjoying that holding. If the dog drop it, open her mouth, put it in, gently hold it and say hold. At least a few seconds, the dog hold, take it off, give her treats. After many times in repetition, the dog will hold on the command. And after, you can substitute that items for any items. By using this method, you can teach your dog to hold stick, purse, bottle of vodka, whatever comes first.
That's a good tip.
That is a good tip. 1-866-405-8405. And this portion of Animal Radio was underwritten by Kensington Books. When homicide hits her suburban Connecticut hometown, Melanie Travis and her pedigree poodles are back on the case in Bite Club. Cozy up with your furry friend and see if you can figure out who the real killer is. Bite Club by Lorian Berenson is available everywhere books are sold, and you can learn more at KensingtonCozies.com. Thanks, Kensington, for underwriting Animal Radio. Stacy, what are you working on?
Tori spelling sleeps with a pig. And no, it's not her husband or even an ex-husband. It's a real pig. I'll tell you about it.
I like Tori.
She's a little nutty, right?
I don't like sleep with the pig.
I'll tell you more about it coming up on Animal Radio News.
That's all on the way right here. Joey, what are you working on for today's show?
Do you know how to brush your dog, Hal?
I thought I knew how to brush a dog. I guess you're going to tell me that I don't know how to brush a dog.
You don't know how to brush your dog, and that's why you need to listen. Okay? You need to listen very, very closely, and I'm going to teach you.
Okay. Also on the show today, we're going to talk about this whole thing in San Francisco. They are planning on reducing the panhandling problem by giving the homeless dogs to take care of, which is kind of a controversial issue. Do you give homeless people dogs to take care of? Will it?
They can't take care of themselves.
I know.
Why, I mean, I don't like the. I don't like the whole thing. I'm angry.
People say less is more. At Red Barn, we think less is better. It's what you won't find that sets our natural premium pet food apart. No byproducts, no corn or soy, no fillers. Just the natural ingredients your pets need to live the healthy life they deserve. Look at the label. We want you to. Red Barn Naturals Pet Food. Simply the best. Find it in your local pet specialty store. Try our grain-free rolled food. It's protein-packed with less risk of food sensitivity.
This is an Animal Radio News Update.
Bret Michaels has shared some challenges of designing his pet product.
Every rose has its thorn.
Yep, Bret Michaels admits that some of the ideas he had for his line of pet accessories didn't actually pan out. The Poison frontman told People that he came up with a dog bed adorned with metal studs. Well, the singer says he really wanted to include that in his pet rock collection, but he realized pretty quick that it's got a few safety issues. Michael explains that while his goal is to create unique and original products, he also understands that they also have to be practical. The rocker added that he did his own product testing, trying out all the merchandise on his own dogs. The first installment of the Bret Michaels Pet Rock collection is available at PetSmart locations right now. Well, there's a painting elephant that's creating quite a bit of a stir. One elephant in the Czech Republic is earning her keep and helping other elephants at the same time. The Prague Post says Shanti, a 36-year-old Indian elephant, is developing a reputation as a painter. There's a few of these elephants that do this. Her caretaker at the Prague Zoo says it took Shanti a couple weeks to figure out how to hold a paintbrush and a couple of months to learn how to paint, but now she'll complete a work of art in 15 to 20 minutes. And there's an interest in her work. Originals sell for more than $1,700. Reproductions, they go for over $90. Not so bad if you're an elephant. That's a good job to have. Money raised through Shanti's paintings are going to an elephant sanctuary in Sri Lanka. Meanwhile, Shanti's getting some new digs as well. The Prague Zoo is currently constructing a new elephant pavilion, thanks to Shanti. I'm Stacey Cohen. Get more animal breaking news at animalradio.com.
This has been an Animal Radio News Update. Get more at animalradio.com.
It's damn hot out there in most of the country. And actually in the Central Coast it's nice and cool. But if you have a dog and it's outside, or a cat or an iguana or a flamingo, if it's outside, please take care of it. Some great ideas over at the Facebook page, how to cool your pup down with a big giant ice cube and their toys inside. Over at our Facebook page at facebook.com/Animal Radio. You're dealing with a lot of heat stroke and all kinds of crap over at the office, aren't you, Doc?
Yeah, but the whole country is definitely dealing with this right now. In the desert, we have the extreme heat, but, even with 80, 90 degrees, add in humidity, it really can get very deadly for pets. And we just had households of chinchillas that all passed away because the air conditioning went out in the home and they were, left for a few days. And normally these critters do great on their own. But so if you do have pets that you're leaving at home, like cats, and you're going to be away, you want to have someone checking in on those babies just in some horrible scenario, something like this happens. But yeah, so it's always a good time. Summertime, we need to talk about heat safety with pets and keeping them indoors if you can. But if not, you really need to be aware of your own pets' unique problems. We've talked about brachycephalic dogs. Oh, yeah. Dogs with a smushy face. They don't breathe good on a good day, so we want to make sure that they're not put in those environments where they may have extra troubles cooling themselves. And young, older pets, all of those have definitely extra problems with heat stroke.
We just got an email here, kind of a depressing email. It's who does it come from? Bob? Bob is all I know. Bob. He says, I used to use Frontline flea control on my 3 cats, but I found it ineffective in about February. I read stuff online that Frontline had changed their formula. He went to his local store and he asked about flea control, and he was told to use Sentry prescriptions by Sargent's, which he did. He has the original package, 1 vial of solution left. He put the other 2, one on his 3-year-old black male cat, Frisky, And in the morning when he came home from work, he found him dead in a pool of blood. And then Frisky had some other skin problems. He was a stray, so he didn't make the connection to the flea treatment. But on Friday night, he applied another vial from the same box to his cat Snowball, another 2-year-old, a female stray, and found her dead the following morning. Jeez. Snowball was in excellent health prior, and the treatment would have been about 34 days from the previous treatment. He wants to know if he has any recourse against Sergeant Pet products.
Well, the first thing we talk about with flea tick products is, one, you want to use a product with the direction of your veterinarian. There are some over-the-counter products out there that can be actually very dangerous, particularly for cats. So if you apply a dog-appropriate product onto a cat, it can kill them. There's such a big disparity in the percentages of a lot of the components. For example, in permethrins, one of the common ingredients in cat and dog flea medications, they may only take 1% or less, which is on the cat products. A dog product can contain 45 to 65%. So it isn't hard to see how the cats can have a sensitivity. They just don't tolerate it the same way. So that's the first thing. Always make sure the product is for dog versus cat. And definitely, I think using veterinary recommended brands is going to be the first thing that I can say, just to make sure we're using the best thing that we can for your pet's individual needs there.
I know people who will take their dog, or they may only have dog prescription, or they may have one that's for an animal that weighs more, and they'll say, okay, I'll just use half a vial on the animal, and that's also dangerous, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. So yeah, you don't want to cookbook it. You don't want to eyeball it and kind of guess. And similarly, this crosses over to, I have a lot of people that email and say, hey doc, I'm using these horse dewormers for my dog and cat. How much do I give? I just don't recommend that. Why experiment with something for a species that's 10 times the size? Use something that's appropriate for your pet size and weight. And the other thing with that is with cats. So you apply a flea tick product to your dog. We have to be aware that cats that share the close proximity to dogs can groom that product or ingest it off of a dog that's recently been treated. So you want to separate the dogs and the cats while the dog is drying with their product. So that's very important.
How long does that take?
Go ahead.
A couple hours, generally. Yeah. I mean, some of these are kind of a greasy, oily product, but I generally would say the day of, I just kind of separate the kitties from the dogs.
And I have a very strong opinion about this. I'm not sure about cats. Like everyone who's listening to Animal Radio knows, I'm not expert on that topic. And when I try to correct the cat's behavior, I always get picked by, yelled by Dr. Davy. But so I'm not going to talk about the cats. But regarding to the dogs, and it's my personal opinion, I honestly never used any flea products for the Mika and for my dogs before Mika. I use the old-fashioned Russian way, which would be natural way. I always adding to her food nutritional yeast and garlic powder, not Dr. Onion powder. Don't look at me like this. Garlic
garlic is in the same family as onion, so you still potentially can have a problem. It's in the same family.
Potentially in the huge quantity, but the garlic is not the onion, and I'm adding, and there is many products on the market. Probably that's proven to be safety when they combine garlic and yeast powder as the flea prevention for dogs. And on top of that, every week I'm just spraying on her citric special, like aromatherapy with the citric oils. And we're doing just well, but it's my personal choice. Consult a veterinarian before you do anything like I do.
What about Bob here? What about Bob? Wasn't there a movie? What about Bob? Does he have recourse, and what should he do?
Well, it kind of depends. If he used the product appropriately to what it was labeled, then absolutely. If it's been used in a different manner, then I think all of those kind of guarantees are going to be off there. But what he can do is he can contact the EPA and the FDA. They're both kind of jointly look after the pesticides and flea treatment. So they have influence on that. So that would be one thing. The other is to definitely file a formal complaint with the product company. And that's something that, rather than go to the internet and start bashing folks, you want to file the proper recourse with these things. And really, and even see your veterinarian, because in many cases, veterinarians can file an additional form of a veterinary pesticide information complaint form. And this is another way that this gets on record and gets on file and, can go into, if there's an overwhelming proportion of side effects with some of these products, then they look at that.
Okay. Your voice at animalradio.com, or you can tweet us at Animal Radio or Facebook us at Animal Radio, or just call us the old-fashioned way, 1-866-405-8405. Coming up in just a couple of minutes, Bret Michaels, and this portion of Animal Radio is brought to you by Pet Stay. I'm a little distracted, as you can tell. It's a unique program for guests and their four-legged friends, available at Flamingo, Bally's, and Harrah's Resorts in Las Vegas. Pet Stay includes the food, the water dish, the sleeping mat, dog treats, and even a specialty room service menu. You can find out more details at Caesars.com/PetStay Las Vegas. And this week, actually, at the Imperial Palace.
Come on, Hal, put yourself together.
In the Human Nature Theater, Sylvia Brown. She is the world-renowned psychic and spiritual teacher. You've seen her on...
seen her on a lot of talk shows.
A lot of TV shows.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Here, I'll hold up her picture. Yeah. That kind of is an antidote for the nudity in the room right now.
Can we do the picture together, Dr. Debbie?
Do you want to get a picture?
For memory.
Just for posterity. Here, let me get in the picture.
Hold on. You get the camera. Dr. Debbie, can I do
Judy, get that bucket of water over there.
Yeah, I'm gonna get the hose in here.
Okay. Well, let me hug you a little bit.
Okay. While they're getting their
come over here. Mika, come over here. Okay.
Mika has to be in the picture.
Yeah, Judy, I don't need you to be close. You can stay a little bit aside. Are we ready?
Okay,
One,
smile.
two,
smile. There you go.
Okay. Get out of here. Okay, keep him away from me, please.
Yeah, hold on one second. I'm just going to pull over so you don't hear the buzzing in the thing.
Have you been driving?
Yeah. We're in Vermont. I could lose you at any moment. But what is it you want me to say?
Wendy Malick, Animal Radio, Spay and Neuter. So, hi, this is Wendy Malick.
Okay,
Listening to Animal
I
Radio.
got it. Okay. Hi, this is Wendy Malick on the Animal Network. And don't forget to spay and neuter.
Animal Radio.
Oh, sorry. Hi, this is Wendy Malick on Animal Radio. And do not forget, spay and neuter.
I am the family dog, and it's that time of year again. The one where pet parents start looking for Fido-friendly hotels and destinations where Fido is welcome. Make no bones about it. Pets are part of the family, and we like to sniff out new places too, and we hate to be turned away, especially when we're on our best behavior. So we won't be left out in the cold. Be sure to pick up a copy of Fido-friendly magazine to find the best hotels and destinations where Fido is always welcome. Go online to FidoFriendly.com and subscribe today.
You're listening to Animal Radio. You can learn more at animalradio.com. Log on. Learn more.
I'm freezing without my shirt on.
You should put it back on.
No, I don't want that. I don't want it. To me, it's good like this.
We have all disrobed in the studio. Dr. Debbie disrobed because it was hot, because Bret Michaels is joining us.
Oh, well, why not?
And we're doing it sort of just to show our appreciation for you taking your shirt off. We've taken our shirts off.
Now, let's clarify for the listeners. I am not on natural right now.
Yes.
I am actually wearing other clothes. I've lost my lab jacket.
It's thanks for clarifying that there.
Hal, you're blushing.
We have to
Hal,
paint a
you're
picture.
so...
I'm sorry, I am red.
Blushing.
It's just for listeners, because I have to tell you, she doesn't have a shirt.
Sounds scandalous that way.
Thank God this isn't on a webcam. You'll have to use your imagination on this one. You know, Ladybug, the studio stunt dog, occasionally, she's pretty well trained, but occasionally she gets frightened, and especially by, like, the mailman or some stranger comes to the house, she'll roll around and pee on the floor.
Plus, she doesn't like riding in the car.
No, she doesn't like riding.
She doesn't get car sick. She just doesn't like it.
And so when we got a hold of one of these Thunder shirts, we put it on. You know, I got to tell you, we were a little bit skeptical at first. I mean, does this work?
Mm-hmm.
But I was blown away. This thing is amazing. And so we decided we'd call them up and say, hey, you guys want to be a sponsor? As we do with all of our sponsors, we try all of their products first to make sure that they work. We would never tell you about a product that we do not believe in. I welcome back to the show Phil Blizzard. His name just makes me much cooler today. He is the founder of Thunder Shirts. How are you doing today?
Doing great.
For listeners that didn't hear last time, you created Thunder Shirt for a need of your own, really.
Personal necessity.
Give us the backstory, if you will.
I have she's now 12 years old, but ever since she was a puppy, I've got a 50-pound mutt, and she's always been afraid of thunder and fireworks. And we did what most people do. We went and visited our veterinarians, and we visited our trainers. We tried drugs. We tried all kinds of different training programs, but nothing was working for a lot of different reasons. And finally, a friend of the family suggested putting on a tight wrap.
And what did you think when they said that? Did you think perhaps they had been drinking too much? What?
Exactly right. I'm an engineer by background, so I tend to like to have a good idea of why something might work, and it sounded absolutely ridiculous to me. Why is what effectively a tight shirt? Why is that going to help my dog's fear of noises? We actually didn't do anything with that information for a while until one night we get a lot of storms during the night here in North Carolina, and I woke up with my 50-pound dog standing on my chest, as was the case in most thunderstorms at night. And my wife said, "We're trying this thing." We grabbed an old T-shirt and some packing tape. We wrestled it on to our dog, wrapped it around with the packing tape to create the pressure around the chest, and it was like flipping a switch. And so we were believers from then on.
And so you've created... Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Doctor.
No, I just have a great example of using it. Probably you never even knew that's possible to use, and maybe you did. So I suggested one of my clients to sleep with a thunder shirt first. Don't put it on yourself, people. Just put it, under your arm. And they slept it with that dog. Excuse me, not with the dog, with that thunder shirt. And in the morning, because dog has a little bit separation anxiety problem, they put it on the dog. And you know what? It works much better than without sleeping, with that product.
Gave it that smell is what you're saying.
Yeah, together, smell and comfort zone, which, it's like a double punch approach.
Now, it's great for, I guess, not only noise anxiety, but separation anxiety. If you travel with your dog, it's great for traveling. If you crate them, if they bark, what else is it good for?
Fear from the husband.
Yeah, fear from husband.
Yeah, it is. Believe it or not, it is.
The easiest way to think about it is just applies this pressure around the torso of the dog, and this pressure has a great calming effect for most dogs. So anytime calming can have a benefit, a thunder shirt may have a benefit, and obviously that fits into a lot of situations.
Well, I'm so glad you created it, because I'd hate to have to use packing tape every time.
Yeah, that would.
Yeah, it would get old. Yeah.
Now,
when the hell is late, or he's expecting you to cook and he's hungry, you probably need to put it on him too, to calm him down.
Well, that would go around his mouth, but that's another story.
Now I get that, though, because, as children, we're coddled by our mother and we're held closely.
You swaddle an infant.
Yeah.
Swaddle, not coddle.
Coddle, I'm sorry.
Swaddle, what is it? Sweat? I don't know. I know that word.
Swaddle means you wrap a baby tightly.
Notice it's the guys in the room that are the idiots.
Yeah.
Now, I understand that you put this together for the cat now, and it's working for cats?
Yep, same thing. Thunder shirt for cats, so just redesigned to fit on a cat well, to apply the same pressure around the torso of a cat, and we're seeing outstanding results with that as well. Surprisingly, noise anxiety is actually a pretty big problem with cats. We just did a big survey of over 1,000 cat owners across the country to understand what the issues are in the cat population, and noise anxieties are almost as common as for dogs. But the biggest problem with cats are vet visits. It's over half of cats have real issues with the whole vet process, whether it's getting into the crate or traveling in the car or the actual procedures. And we're seeing really wonderful results with help keeping cats calm through that whole process.
And
hey, that's something we got to vet subsidize here, because I have a big cut across my hand today that I could tell you about.
No.
So anything we can do to calm cats coming into the office,
I cannot believe the cats can be afraid of you, Dr. Davey, especially.
Oh, my God.
And their owners, too, especially if the way you look right now to me. I can't even watch you.
Well, I have
put the thunder shirt on him.
Yeah, you have to put thunder shirt, because you took your real shirt off. Put at least thunder shirt.
Well, I have two cats that can benefit from this.
Nike.
Nike, he's afraid of actual thunderstorms. He runs under the bed. But I have another cat. Anybody makes a little sound in the room or something, and she just jumps.
You know what? You should take ladybugs. I bet ladybugs would fit on
Nike.
See if it works there. Okay,
yes.
Mr. Blizzard, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
More Animal Radio on the way.
This is
Animal Radio, baby.
Here is today's top automotive news story. I'm Nick Miles. The 2020 BMW X6 crossover is getting a major design makeover. The midsize sports activity vehicle is keeping the steeply raked coupe-like roofline that separates it from the more classic utility vehicle. The X6 stays close to the design of the outgoing model, but is larger in almost all exterior and interior dimensions. It comes with a 4.4-litre twin-turbocharged engine and bumps the horsepower up to 523. For your new X6, go to ourautoexpert.com.
Our Auto Expert is brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts. Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get guaranteed low prices and excellent customer service at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices, every day.
Celebrating the connection with our pets. This is Animal Radio, featuring veterinarian Dr. Debbie White, groomer Joey Villani, news director Lori Brooks. And now, from the Red Barn Studios, here are your hosts, Hal Abrams and Judy Francis.
Our season of stars continues today with singer Bret Michaels. What is he doing animal-wise? Well, he has a brand new accessory line of, well, clothing and toys and all kinds of stuff for dogs.
Great stuff. Bowls, everything.
In fact, Ladybug, the studio stunt dog, is actually wearing one of his shirts right now.
She's wearing a little hoodie.
It is a little hoodie. It looks like a sweatshirt.
Yes, with little lace on the
Yeah, it's very
sleeves.
cool.
It is.
Very cool stuff.
We're going to give it away today. In fact, we got all kinds of great Bret Michaels accessories to give away when he comes on in just a few minutes here. Let's see. Also today, well, let's find out what Stacy's working. Stacy, what are you working on?
Well, everybody's an artist these days, including an elephant. And I'll tell you what, this elephant gets a hefty price for his paintings, about $1,700 a shot. Huh. I'll tell you who you could be jealous of coming up on Animal Radio News.
I can't wait for that. It is hot out across most of the country. Well, not along the coast here where we are. Joey, aren't you glad you don't live in Jersey anymore? Where I think it's like 101 today.
It's brutal. It's brutal in New Jersey. Yeah, this is great.
Much cooler here.
But pull everyone in and laugh.
If you happen to live in Jersey or any of these hot states, make sure that your animals are well taken care of. Your dogs. We have a great idea, by the way, over at the Facebook page. It's sort of like a giant-sized ice cube. You put all their toys into a giant-sized ice cube, little bouillon, like chicken bouillon or beef bouillon in there, and freeze that in the freezer, and they have to lick it to get to their toys.
How cool is that?
All the instructions over at the website.
I'm going to do it with my toys.
Yeah, with your toys, your very own toys.
Yes.
Lick your own toys.
I wonder
I'm going to lick my own toys.
I wonder if their tongues get stuck to it like they do. You know, they show the kids with flagpoles and stuff. I wonder if their tongue will get stuck to the big ice cube.
You know, they sweat through their pads of their feet. So there's rumors that eating ice cubes is not good for dogs, but this is not an ice cube. This is kind of a lick treat, so it won't harm them. All the information over at our Facebook page, which is growing by leaps and bounds, facebook.com/Animal Radio. You know, I'm just reading in the paper today, there's a brand new survey out. What kind of dog should you use if your intent is to go out to the dog park and meet a gal or meet a guy? Because
get a date.
A lot of us, we use our animals to get dates and meet people. I mean, let's face it. It is date bait. And according to the survey, the top breed to attract men is golden retrievers, followed by Labrador retrievers and Chihuahuas, and then poodles and beagles. Yes?
I could see Chihuahuas. The other dogs, I'm surprised, but Chihuahuas, I definitely could see.
Now, these are dogs girls should have to attract men?
No, I'm just vice versa. I'm surprised, by your assumption about the Chihuahua needs to surprise anyone. No, I am for Labs and Goldens. They're Democrats. I like them.
Well, you know why guys are attracted to girls who have Chihuahuas?
Why?
Because they think they're dumb and easy.
Yep, this is true. This, according to the survey, this is true.
That's what it says. I'm just reading it.
They will feel sorry about us. Yeah, because they Chihuahua going to snap them in the ass.
My kind of woman, except for my wife, of course. Dumb and easy.
Now, for women, the top breed dog to attract them to men. This is women. This is what you use to attract a good man. Is a German Shepherd. Followed by golden retrievers, Labrador retrievers, huskies, and French bulldogs.
So that's what the
German Shepherd makes the mark. The German Shepherd tells about something. So you're serious.
I don't know.
You're loyal.
The French Bulldog, I could say yes, you know. I mean...
Why? They're dumb.
Hold on. The German Shepherd, yeah, I know. But see, you're a dog person like me. But the average person, you look at them, it's a little bit unique, you know. Everyone sees Labs and Goldens, you know. I stay away from
Why not ugly American Mastiff?
What's that?
Why not ugly American Mastiff? Why not that?
No, we didn't say Mastiff. Did you say Mastiff?
No, the Mastiff's not in there.
No, that's what I'm asking. If you told me that the Frenches would like to bark too much,
I agree with you. I absolutely agree. A Mastiff would work, would definitely work, but Labs and Goldens to me wouldn't work. German Shepherd would work. If it's a good-looking German Shepherd, absolutely, an attractive dog.
Like me.
The other ones, I don't know.
What do you think girls think about guys that have pit bulls? What do you think that sends a message to a girl?
Nah, it's you know what? It's ghetto.
Ghetto?
It's ghetto. That's what I think. It's ghetto.
I kind of stand up for my Francis Milan.
But you know what, women?
Tell me, you're a woman.
Yeah,
you're a woman. What would you go for?
Well, according to the survey, women think that they're slimy.
Pit bulls are slimy?
No, owners, guys that have pit bulls, they're not attracted to guys who have pit bulls because they think they're
And it's
slimy.
a shame because it's a great breed, but yeah, you're right, and I could see that.
Sketchy. They don't trust a man with a pit bull.
Well, what kind of dog?
Because you can trust the man as much as you can trust pit bull. I would put this way, because the man and pit bull has the same assets. They can lick and bite. They can attack without warning, and I guess a genetic trend.
But a guy who has a pit bull, he's like trying to make a statement. He's lacking somewhere personally, so he has to have that dog to make up for it.
I agree. People getting it comes to what I am basically preaching all the time. People getting dogs as a reflection of their own personalities.
Yeah, or what they want to be.
Yeah, what they want to be, but sometimes it is just, maybe a little bit repolishing what they are already, but it's still a lot of similarities, so opposite attracts. So let's say if the guy has a German Shepherd, the best match for him would be the lady who has a golden or lap, because stupid lap and smart German Shepherd. So we call the stupid lap because this is they're not stupid, but the lap is just everyone can say, hey, have a cookie and American cheese. They're gonna follow you. They can jump in the van with the closed door and look back and say, oh, I thought it was closed, open. Excuse me, my Mika, look at this. German Shepherd would never do that. But anyway, I love laps. As a matter of fact, I have one in my house right now. But it's a great combination. Look, Shepherds and Labs never fight. I haven't seen any one family who they were fighting. They're not threat each other. They supplementation.
What kind of dog would you want to see a man with?
I guess personally, I think a guy that takes care of a small dog and is not afraid to have a small dog because of his manhood, I find that very attractive. A big guy with a little dog. I'm personally attracted to that.
I'm a big guy with 4 little dogs.
Yeah, there you go.
What is your best, Joe, what is your best choice for the general public for the small dog? And I will tell you my choice. And I will be right. So go ahead.
With a small dog. That's a tough. That's too tough because it really goes with the person. Because it definitely goes with the person's personality. I'm a terrier guy, so I know, I like terriers, but okay,
oh my gosh.
small dog.
Why general?
I'll tell you what. We'll take a quick break, and as soon as we come back, we'll find out what Vlade thinks. I think he's missing the point on this here. It's all about finding women or dates or something like that. But he'll tell you what dog
he's married. He's not in that train of mind right now.
1-866-405-8405. This portion of Animal Radio is brought to you by the grain-free Red Barn Naturals canned food for dogs and cats. It's always made in the USA with natural, functional ingredients to support your pet's optimal health. You could learn more at redbarninc.com. And thank you, Red Barn, for underwriting Animal Radio.
Hi, it's Alan Kibble with today's dog tip.
I know he just did it because he can feel the
tension.
That's my sister-in-law. She's living in the house with her in-laws, and there's a lot of anxiety and tension going on. So the dog jumped up on the in-laws' bed and went to the bathroom.
Trying to help them find how to clean it.
There are several reasons why dogs, especially adult ones, go to the bathroom in the house, and anxiety, well, that's one of them. And it can be caused by a sudden change in a dog's environment. Adding another pet to your house is another reason, even a baby. And to stop it, you kind of got to give your dog a refresher course. Do it the same way as when your dog was a puppy. You start with confinement. That means when you're not there ready to give your dog 100% of your attention, keep them confined. Best place is in a crate. I remember in a past dog tip, we talked about how important structure is to your dog. So you make sure you have a schedule. You take your dog outside the same times every day. Adults can hold it in for a pretty long time. So set a schedule and stick to it every single day. The third step is reward. Reward's really important in a dog's life. Every time your dog's doing something that you want him to do, you give him a reward. If this is all starting to sound like techniques you'd use to raise your husband, well, yeah, it is very similar. Let's talk about what a reward is. It could be a treat, or it just could be verbal praise. Oh, good dog, or both. And you can also give your dog a nice scratch under the chin. Praise is a really powerful tool. Remember, your dog wants to please you. You just have to help show him how. When you use praise, your dog is going to want to go to the bathroom outside in the right place. Here's the last thing to remember, consistency. That's probably the most important thing to remember. You want to set your dog up to succeed, not to fail, and consistency is the easiest way to do that. It's the key to your dog's success, and it's a byproduct to giving your dog confidence. Confidence in knowing he's doing the right thing. He's doing exactly what you want him to do. So be consistent, stick with your plan, and you're going to see fast results. The more consistent you are, the faster your dog's going to learn anything, including going to the bathroom outside. Oh boy, I think your husband had a little accident.
Yeah, his boss is still his wife.
Dogs or cats, horse or emu, animals are people too. Butterscotch, a 14-year-old tabby, started out his life living on the streets of South Burlington, Vermont. But now he spends his day at a posh hotel, often sleeping on a leather chair in front of a fireplace. Patrick Benner adopted Butterscotch from the Humane Society 8 years ago and was surprised to learn what his cat was up to. According to the staff at Hawthorne Suites, Butterscotch shows up every day at 7 a.m. and leaves at 6, almost like he's coming in for work. He sometimes lounges on the front desk or escorts the new arrivals with their bags. Luckily, it's a pet-friendly hotel. Repeat guests sometimes ask if that cat's still there when they make reservations, and Butterscotch frequently gets high marks on guest comment cards. Owner Benner says he believes Butterscotch must have lived the high life in one of his past cat lives. I'm Britt Savage for Animal Radio. Animals are people too. Animal Radio.
Hey, this is Paula Poundstone. Wait, I forget where I am.
Animal Radio.
Animal Radio. I love that. All right. Hey, this is Paula Poundstone on Animal Radio. Spay and neuter your pets or we're going to be eaten alive.
You'll roll over with joy for Bite Club, the new Melanie Travis canine mystery by award-winning author Lorian Berenson, amateur sleuth and proud parent of prize-winning poodles. Melanie Travis has a new book club catering to fans of crime fiction. That means when homicide hits her suburban town, this time she has a whole pack of mystery-solving pals to help her collar the killer. Dog lovers won't want to miss this lighthearted, playful caper. Bite Club is on sale now everywhere books are sold. Learn more at KensingtonCozies.com.
Live at the Red Barn Studios, you're listening to Animal Radio. Here's Hal and Judy.
And your dream team has all disrobed. I hope it's not hot where you are. If it is, please take care of your animals. A big show today. Bret Michaels going to be joining us. That's why it's so damn hot in the studio. And Bret Michaels has his accessory line for pets. So we're all very excited about that. That's coming up this hour here on Animal Radio. We've just learned in the last hour, if you were not here with us, where is that? Oh, if you want a dog to meet a woman, the best dog is a Chihuahua or a Labrador Retriever or a Poodle or Beagle.
There you go.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
I like poodle.
You do like poodles.
Yeah, I like it. I myself would have a poodle. Now, such a factor involves the man owning poodle.
Yeah.
I would never get that, Vlade. I just don't picture it. Are you going to, like, foof its hair and put bows in it and all that?
They're smart. That, like, if you dealt with the graduate of the Harvard, if you had chance to talk to the people who graduate Harvard University, that would be, for me, poodle.
If you want to meet a man, the best dog is a German Shepherd, followed by Golden Retrievers, Labrador Retrievers, Huskies, and French Bulldogs.
The woman should have a big dog to attract a man, and a man should have a small dog to attract a woman.
When I see a woman, I want a small dog because I know I don't have a big personality to overcome. Like a Chihuahua.
Yeah. You don't have anything to prove.
What do you mean?
It has nothing to prove.
Nothing to prove. Yes. No.
He has nothing.
Let's see.
Let the Dr. David check what he can prove or not.
I think we should all put our clothes back on, by the way.
Yeah, it's getting a little too hot in the studio. Outside, maybe another thing.
Let's hit the phones, 1-866-405-8405. Welcome to the show, Linda.
Hello.
Where are you calling from?
Hi, I'm calling from Torrance, California.
Los Angeles area. What's going on? I have Dr. Debbie right here.
Yes, I have a 13-year-old Chihuahua named Daisy, and she is beginning to have gum problems. And I had non-anesthetic cleaning done for her in the last 2 years as she's getting older, being concerned, about putting her under anesthetic. But her gums, she's had extractions previously, too, when she was younger because her teeth had problems. But now her breath is getting really strong.
Okay, just calm down, doctor. Just calm down. She's all red right now. As soon as you said...
And I wanted to know, what is a home remedy that is good to really maintain her gums? She has a little bit of bleeding. If I clean it regularly, I use a little bit of peroxide and water, but someone told me about the salt water rinse with some baking soda.
Okay, I'm going to have to back up because Hal, he saw me kind of popping my top over here. As far as with non-anesthetic dental cleanings, all I can say is this is one of the biggest hoaxes that people think they're doing some good for their pets, and they are not. If a non-anesthetic dental cleaning is done, basically you get a better feel that, wow, I've done something for my dog because there's tartar that's chipped off the teeth. Yes. But the reality is that does nothing for the true dental disease, which lies under the gum line, which is where periodontal disease really brews. So when you talk about odor and you talk about bleeding gums, those are hallmark signs of periodontal disease. So I never recommend people to do awake dental cleanings. In many cases, if these are done at grooming parlors or pet events, they're done by non-licensed personnel. So it's kind of the equivalent of going to your hairdresser and asking her to do an eye lift for you or doing Botox. So and truly, in my eyes, this is jeopardizing the safety of a lot of pets. Because you are missing out on those opportunities to really intervene and do some good to try to turn around that dental status there. So
but what are your thoughts on an older pet being under anesthetic?
It really depends on the individual. I'm a very cautious practitioner, I can tell you that. But when I have an older pet and we have advanced dental disease, I look at the pet as a whole. So I look to see are there other ongoing problems, other health problems going on that might pose an extra risk. But if we just have an old dog with bad teeth, that is not a reason why I will not do a dental cleaning. And I've done dental cleanings, extractions on pets that have horrendous mouths because people are afraid to address that when we have an older pet.
Really?
That fear alone is just jeopardizing your pet's safety because we're ignoring that bacterial film, all those negative products that are through the blood system affecting other organs.
Swallowing it. Oh, like she's swallowing all the bacteria every day.
Swallowing, but it goes through the blood system. And we know dogs with dental disease can also have heart murmurs, heart disease, because that bacteria travels to the heart, can cause kidney problems, liver problems, all sorts of things. I could go on and on. But kind of going back to your question, if I had your pet here and I was examining them, if all we found was dental disease and an old baby, I would consider it, especially if we've got a lot going on in that mouth. And there are many dogs that once we address a really nasty, rotten mouth, deal with that, extract the rotten teeth, get them on antibiotics, get things healed up, and many times they'll feel better. You'll notice they have more pep in their step, and then we have an overall healthier pet. So there is some value to that. Now, some of the things you asked about what you can do at home, the number one thing that pet owners can do to maintain your pet's health is brush their teeth.
Okay.
That is the best thing because that exercises the gums, and it also helps to dislodge the bacteria and the plaque products at the gum line. Now, if you got a lot of gunk in there already and there's bleeding gums, oh my God, don't do that because that's already an ouchy, painful condition, and we need to intervene. Then once those teeth get cleaned, you can get on a real good regimen at home. And I usually don't recommend things like salt water. It's just, it can cause vomiting when they ingest enough of it. There's so many other better products that we can use that are safe for pets because anything you put in their mouth they're going to swallow. So even like peroxide can cause nausea, vomiting. It can burn if they have abraded gums. So, but there are some
what are some products that I can use in the interim until I guess
until you can
make
get
that decision to take her in?
Sure. You might check with your veterinarian.
Yeah, puppy pads are convenient, but sometimes they're really gross. That's why the Animal Radio studio stunt dog, Ladybug, uses the Brilliant Pad self-cleaning puppy pad. We love how it handles number 1 and number 2. It seals away the waste and replaces dirty pads for us. Brilliant Pad keeps our home clean and smelling fresh. All we do is replace the roll once every few weeks, and the process is fast and clean. In fact, Ladybug gives it 5 paws up. Learn more about it at brilliantpad.com.
Hi, everybody. This is Frankie Avalon, and I love Animal Radio. Keep listening.
This is an Animal Radio News Update.
I'm Stacy Cohen for Animal Radio. Tori Spelling has a passion for fashion, as we all know, and she's, of course, no stranger to donning chic vintage looks. She told Lucky Magazine that she's dressing one of her family members the same way. No, not her 4-year-old daughter, Stella, but her pet chicken, Coco. She says, I call her a pocket chicken because she loves to be held and go places with me. Oh, wouldn't you like to be behind her in line? A silky bantam chicken, Coco has quite the wardrobe thanks to Spelling and her crafting skills. She makes her outfits, and she also has little caplets, she says. Coco isn't the only animal that roams around Spelling's home. Along with McDermott and her kids Stella, Liam, 5, and Hattie, 8 months old, the family also has a pet pig named Hank, who Spelling told E! News actually sleeps in bed with her and McDermott. Oh, that's just great. That is just wonderful. While it's not uncommon for a business to have security dogs on hand for protection, one toy warehouse in Britain is using a cat to safeguard the inventory. The UK's Orange News says Millie, a Bengal cat, was picked for the job in part for her climbing abilities and her loud purr. A spokesman for the warehouse says Millie has an important job as retailers are starting to place their holiday orders, but he believes that with Millie on the job, the toys are now very well protected. Millie's owner isn't surprised that the cat has been chosen to be a security guard, explaining that Millie has always had a very vigilant personality. Millie is being compensated with cat food and fish. Of course, that's what every security cat gets. An 8-year-old Chinese crested named Mugly is receiving the dubious honor of being the world's ugliest dog. Mugly took first place in the 24th World's Ugliest Dog contest. Mugly is described as a rescue dog who does therapy work with kids. Owner Bev Nicholson brought the pooch from their home in Britain for the contest. Mugly beat out 29 other competitors. You know what? That is just not fair. The crested dogs are the ugliest dogs no matter what. They should not be allowed in the contest. Seriously. They're like one big mustache. That's all they have is the little hair around their head. Anyway, Mugly beat out 29 other competitors. The first place winner got a trophy and a $1,000 prize. And I think a bunch of dog biscuits, too. Get more animal breaking news at animalradio.com.
This has been an Animal Radio News Update. Get more at animalradio.com.
Hi, this is Joyce DeWitt on Animal Radio. Please spay and neuter your animals. Thank you.
Check out Animal Radio highlights. All the good stuff without the blah, blah, blah. Browse on over to animalradio.pet.
Let's see. The season of stars continues. The ladies are a little bit of Twitter in the office today. Dr. Debbie especially.
Yeah, and I'm a pretty straightforward doctor type, but I do have kind of a hard rock background, and I gotta say I am a fan, Brad.
Oh, there you go. It's always the quiet ones. Hey, Bret Michaels, welcome to Animal Radio.
Hey, thank you all for having me on, and I am glad that we're causing a good buzz and a Twitter between the office.
Well, now tell me, you have animals of your own. You have a couple of dogs, like 2 German Shepherds?
Yeah, well, let me start with the present. I've got Diesel and Phoenix, male and female shepherd, who I love, and of course I have Marley and Harley, the rats.
Wow.
And we just... Yeah, and I've had, my whole life, I said, as far back as I can remember, and I don't even want to talk about the clothes then. I'm talking about at 5 and 6 in my flood plaid pants. I've got a picture with my first German Shepherd dog named Tarkus Aurelius. I don't know why I named him that, but anyway, Tark. And I just was thinking, as I was doing these accessories and the whole collection, the whole PetSmart, the whole Pets Rock collection, how fun it is, because over the years I've made stuff, just being creative, I've just made stuff that I thought was fun to play with my dogs. I've had Malamutes, I've had Huskies, but for the most part I've always had German Shepherds, but usually multiple dogs, and cats and stuff like that, horses of course. But it's just, one of those things that people that like animals and love animals, and I say this in general, really love music too, and it's a great combination.
Have any of the animals ever been muses for your music?
Yeah, as far as writing a song about them?
Sure.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I'm not going to say that I necessarily wrote a song about my dog just yet. I've written a couple songs about my daughters. I haven't written a song about, but they have helped me in my recovery when I was real sick a couple years ago with the brain hemorrhage and all that stuff. I got to tell you, it is truly one of these things where they bring a certain amount of not only unconditional love, but a certain amount of just patience and security that come with having an animal that you love, and they'll lay there with you and hang out, and they're your friend through thick and thin.
We talk to a lot of celebs who say they don't want animals with them because they travel too much, and that, it just wouldn't be fair
to
for
be
them.
leaving the animal all the time.
But you take your animals with you? What's the deal there?
Well, I spend about 9 months on the road, but I have a ranch, and on the ranch, the animals are either with me or taken care of, but my kids are always with them. Like, it's, you know what I mean? They're never left alone, and I got to disagree with that a little bit, because if you're out there traveling and doing stuff, you can make arrangements. I bring my dogs out for, you do about a 3-day span, and you're on the tour bus. It's great. You can make it fun, but at the same time, anytime you put an animal out of its environment, it's going to get a little excited. It's going to get, nervous, and people that come around them don't know, especially when you have a German Shepherd, who can be the friendliest animal ever, but a Shepherd, if it doesn't understand or gets a bad vibe, can also be an aggressive dog. And I think, you got to be very, I say use common sense. You don't, people don't want to just come rushing up to you if you have 2 big shepherds sitting there. So you use common sense on how you bring them out and have fun with the animals. But I have no doubt travel with my pets, and there's tons of photos online of me with my Huskies and Shepherds and all of them on the road.
Awesome. Speaking of photos here, Bret, the other day I was just out shopping and I literally bumped into you. I was at PetSmart and there was that larger-than-life size cutout of you, and I was like, oh my gosh. I got taken aback, but I appreciate that. You're definitely
She actually asked if she could take that cutout home with her.
Yes, she wanted it.
They said that you actually stole it. Is that true?
It's missing.
You stole the standee? Because if you did, I am totally honored.
Well, you've teamed up with PetSmart for this new collection that you have. Tell the listeners a little bit about it.
Very simple. Well, first of all, we'll start with the standee. What we did is, I think they had the standee because we're doing a big contest with the fans. The line's just called Bret Michaels Pets Rock Collection, and PetSmart has been an unbelievably great, very interactive, proactive relationship I've had with them, because I create all this stuff, and like I said, I laugh. I'm a realist. I'm one of those guys that's a dreamer. I dream up these crazy ideas and I get creative, and then I almost reel myself back in when I know it's getting ridiculous. But PetSmart has been great, and we made it fun. Like, people, the first thing we did was a big photo contest, and everyone was sending in pictures, and then we pick out a winner, and we fly them out. They come on the road. If you're in Chicago, we play there, and people come out. We're in Detroit. We're playing there tonight. People come out on the road, and we get a chance to talk about not only the collection, but we talk about what's coming in Halloween and Christmas, and the stuff that they like and the stuff they didn't like. You know what I mean? And the whole collection is really fun, very rock and roll. I call it rock in my country because I'm sort of a combination of both rock, and I've also had crossover country singles as well. And it's a really kind of a rock in my country collection is what I call it. And we've really had a great time with it.
Yeah, I saw online one of your plush fox toys with a bandana, and I have to say, it looked a lot like you.
Oddly enough, that may have been Punk Skunk or one of the. We have a whole collection that the kids. What's happened is a lot of the kids are buying them because we made toys to play with, and I tested all these on my shepherds. And at first some of them worked great, and then others it didn't work. They bite them and throw them around, and it the stuff that didn't work right, we didn't put it in the collection. And we'll go back and rework on it and make it safe, and make it really durable, so that people can enjoy it. But we've got everything from tour buses.
Yeah, we have one of those tour buses in the studio right here that we're going to give away in just a second. It is so cool. It's like a hide toys inside it.
It's a cool looking flame tour bus. It's copied after the bus I have, and people go in there and we've got little items that go in it. They can go inside of it. You can pull people out of it. You've got everything from the bus driver to the fan to the band to the crew. Even a couple. Now I won't say there's a couple really beautiful hot fans in there, a couple of those, but the animal will thoroughly enjoy it. They understand the rock and roll. They'll get it.
Now, did you create the sundresses as well?
I'm going to tell you something. I gave them the logoing, and they had to give me a little help with that. And my daughters, oddly enough, Rain in Georgia, had a lot of input on what they thought was really, really, really cute on the animals. You know what I mean? And their friends would come over, and the one friend has a Chihuahua. I hope I said that correctly, but Chihuahua. And they bring over their little dogs. We put them on, see if some of them worked. And it's funny because when you dress an animal up, being very realistic, some of them love it, and they're like, okay. And others look at you like, what are you doing? And I think you've got to know what your pet's going to enjoy. We have a lot of success with the bandanas and stuff like that. The animals it doesn't really bother them. They love them. And the smaller dogs and the medium-sized dogs are really enjoying the outfits that they put on them. And I think it's a lot of fun and adds a lot of personality.
Well, very good. We appreciate you spending time with us today. I'm going to give out this tour bus right now at 1-866-405-8405. It is the Bret Michaels Pets Rock Line. Bret, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you all for having me on. I appreciate it.
Take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
I'm Beth Stern on Animal Radio and Adopt from your local shelter.
Here is today's top automotive news story. I'm Nick Miles. Ford and Multimatic have revealed the Ford GT Mark II, the track-only GT that represents the next stage in the Ford GT performance. The GT Mark II unleashes the full performance potential of the Ford GT without any artificial performance limitations dictated by racing-sanctioned bodies. It comes with a 700 horsepower, 3.5-litre EcoBoost engine and will cost you around $1.2 million. To find your next Ford, go to ourautoexpert.com.
Our Auto Expert is brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts. Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get guaranteed low prices and excellent customer service at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day.
This is
Animal Radio.
San Francisco has some very controversial plans on using dogs to reduce its panhandling problem. The city is going to initiate a new program believed to be the first of its kind in this country, encouraging homeless individuals to give up panhandling. In exchange, they'll receive a small stipend to foster problematic puppies until they're ready for adoption. Now, the participants must promise to stop panhandling, and in exchange for doing this, the approved applicant will receive $50 to $75 a week, as well as several training sessions, regular check-ins, and all the dog food, toys, and leashes and veterinary care that dog needs. Now, get this. Participants, once panhandlers, will be ideally trained in grooming, dog walking, and other animal-related skills so that they can join the regular workforce. Now, it seems like a cool program, although it is stirring up a lot of controversy. If a person cannot take care of themselves,
how are they going to take care of a pet?
Yeah.
Well, they're giving them the resources.
Well, and I see, I see out in our area, we actually see folks panhandle with pets, and, it actually, in many cases, draws more attention to them. Yeah. So, I could see that going the other direction.
Well, now, if they get caught panhandling with the pet, they have to give the pet back. That's part of the deal there. So we'd like to know what you think. 1-866-405-8405. Is this just a great idea for putting an end to panhandling in San Francisco, or is it a crappy idea that could lead to problems, more problems with the dogs? I can only mean one thing. Ladies and gentlemen, let's all bow for the dog father, Joey Villani, exclusively on Animal Radio, bringing us our tip of the week. Good day, sir.
How come everyone's, this is good. Everyone bows every week. I'm starting to get used to this. I come home, I told my wife that she has to bow, and she gave me a boot in the ass. So,
Good.
Anyway, I got a good email this week, and it was from a woman who has a Maltese, and she says that she listens to the show, and she says that I'm always talking about brushing the dog. She says the problem for her is it's overwhelming for her when she brushes her dog. Her dog has a lot of hair, and she really doesn't want to cut it, but she's at the point where it's driving her crazy because she can't get the knots and tangles out. She don't want to cut the dog because she likes the look, but she's having a hard time maintaining it. Now, this is a question that I go over with people all the time in the grooming salon, because everyone always says that they brush their dogs out and the dogs come in and they're knotted. Number one, you're taking on too much. Most brushes are usually about 3.5 to 4 inches long and about 2 inches in diameter. So you're really taking on a large area, especially on a small dogs. There's not many people out there. Most people with long-haired dogs own small dogs. You don't see too many people with Afghans anymore like there used to be in the 70s and the other long-flowing coat dogs that are large breed. But the brushes, for whatever reason, were never downsized. So people are using that whole brush and they're trying to brush it out, and what's happening is the hair is flipping under and it's getting caught in the brush and the dog doesn't like it. And what you need to do is this. 2 things. Number one, get a spray bottle of water. That's definitely going to help you out because it's going to keep the flyaway down and it's going to keep the hair from breaking. So what you're going to do is you're going to mist the coat lightly, just dampen it a little bit. Then you're going to brush a 2-inch section at a time. And you're going to start on the top of the dog and you're going to work down, straight down below. And then you're going to go back and you're going to start at the top of the dog and you're going to go straight down. You're going to continue to do that until you do everything from the head all the way down to the tail, down to the feet. It's going to take a little bit more time, absolutely. But you know what? If you want that beautiful coat, there is definitely a price to pay with that. What you have to do is do that 2-inch section, take your comb, check that you got everything out, right to the skin, move down, 2-inch section, comb right to the skin, spray as you're going along, and you want to know something? It'll work it out. It'll be a lot easier for you. It'll be a lot easier on your dog, and you'll have the look that you really want to keep.
When you say you go down the dog, do you mean you go from the head to the tail, or you go from the shoulders down to the floor?
Shoulders to the floor.
Oh.
I'm sorry. You don't want to start on the bottom and work up, especially for the novice, because what happens is the hair keeps getting in your way. For most professional groomers, they like to start down low at the feet and work up. I notice for novice people who aren't used to brushing, when you start at the top, you kind of get used to what you're doing, and as you work down, it gets a little bit more difficult, because what happens is when you're at the bottom, the hair is in your way. Now, even though you can see it better, okay, and see where you're going, it becomes a little bit overwhelming for you. And a lot of people, what they may want to do is you get a good doggy conditioner, something that absorbs into the skin, and you just want to read the label. There's a lot of really good conditioners out there that don't have any lanolins, oils, or any heavy silicones in them, and they'll absorb right into the skin. If you mix that in with in the spray bottle, all you need is a little bit, a small spray bottle, maybe a tablespoon of conditioner, and that'll also keep the static down, and it'll just make it a lot easier, and your dog will be much happier as well, because you're not going to be ripping at that coat and pulling that hair out.
I think I'll stick with a short hair dog.
You know what? It's definitely much easier. You know what's funny is I'll tell you, and if people could see me, dog father, this big groomer, and today I was outside and I said, you know what? I was going to bring the dogs to the salon on Tuesday, and they got the backyard shampoo and hose treatment.
We are so out of time. We want to thank you for listening today. Thank Bret Michaels for joining us, and if you want to catch us during the week, you can go over to the app. the phone app for iPhone and Android. Just search for Animal Radio. Also online at Facebook at Animal Radio, your voice at animalradio.com, and tweet us at Animal Radio. We'll see you next week for more Animal Radio right here on this fine station. Have a great week.
Bye-bye.
Take care, guys.
Bye,
Everyone
Joe.
have a great weekend.
Bye.
Always adopt, don't declaw.
This is Animal Radio
Network.